As one nation, we grieve for every precious soul that has been taken from us so suddenly. And we are a country of, really, we are in mourning. This is really shaken a lot of people, including people, very sadly, from other nations.
Tonight, an investigation continues a day after a deadly mid-air collision between an Army Black Hawk helicopter and an American Airlines regional jet, claiming 67 lives. That crash is the deadliest in the U.S. in nearly 24 years.
The grim task of recovering the remains of crash victims and evidence continues in the bitter cold waters of D.C.'s Potomac River at this hour.
Several federal agencies now investigating how this could happen, how the aircraft could wound up on that collision course. All 64 people aboard the jet and 3 service members on that Black Hawk helicopter were killed. Among the jet's passengers, several U.S. figure skaters, coaches, and family members who were returning from a development camp following the U.S. Championships in Wichita, Kansas. Today, National Transportation Safety Board officials said there is no immediate cause identified, but a preliminary report will be ready with their initial findings in about 30 days.
Our investigative team will be on scene as long as it takes in order to obtain all of the perishable evidence and all the fact-finding that is needed to bring us to a conclusion of probable cause. Our mission is to understand not just what happened, but why it happened, and to recommend changes to prevent it from happening again.
National Transportation Safety Board officials say the final report will be released once all fact-finding and investigation is complete.
In the wake of this crash, American Airlines canceled 3 incoming and outgoing flights to Washington, D.C. today from the Columbia Metropolitan Airport.
WIS reporter Naomi Popa joins us live at the Columbia Metropolitan Airport. She spoke with a pilot who has flown in the military and as a commercial pilot, and he has also flown through the corridor where the airline disaster happened.
Naomi, many are wondering what investigators may be looking for. At this point, they said they don't have enough evidence to rule anything in or out. What can you tell us?
Well, Judy, Hannah, that's exactly right. As you mentioned, we're still waiting to learn the specific details from lead investigators with the National Transportation Safety Board. But in the meantime, we got a chance to speak with a South Carolina pilot who flies both in the military and as a commercial pilot with a U.S. major airline. He shared some of those exact things you mentioned, Judy, facts or elements that the investigators will use to figure out what happened.
As a pilot flying that same route and seeing that crash, it hit us all really hard.
It's being reported as the first major commercial airline crash in more than 15 years. Investigators still searching the cold depths of the Potomac River, looking for pieces from that crash will serve as clues to help investigators. Taj Troy has an extensive aviation background and he's flown through the exact corridor. He says investigators will be looking at a number of factors.
Looking at multiple things. They're going to be looking at whether it be environmental factors, they're looking at the human factors, they're looking at the technical and mechanical factors.
Troy says weather conditions, technology in the aircraft, timing, elevation, light pollution could all be elements investigators will look at. In addition, the black box, otherwise known as the flight data recorder, will hold a lot of clues. It has all the data from the aircraft, where it was trending, altitude, speed, all communication from the inside and the outside of an aircraft. In a press conference Thursday afternoon, the NTSB said they have not recovered the recorders from the water just yet.
So the investigators will have their opportunity to pull that information and try to piece together what actually caused this accident.
When it comes to communication while in the air, Troy says it depends on the particular airspace.
That particular airspace, you must have two-way communication with the air traffic control tower. That's just the nature of that airspace. In other airspaces, you don't have to talk to anybody. That's the way our national airspace system is set up. We do know based on the facts that the air traffic controller could see, and he was talking to both air crew, but that doesn't mean that they received all the information.
Now, Troy obviously discouraged speculation, encouraging citizens that want to know what happened or details about the case to wait for the thorough investigation. We're, of course, following this story. You can find more details on our website at WISTV.com. Reporting live here in Columbia, I'm Naomi Popa, WIS News 10.